$20,000 in 15 days is definitely possible whenever you're wholesaling real estate. And today in this video, I'm gonna show you how you can actually get this done. Let's get into the video. Now, the very first thing that's important whenever you're trying to generate $20,000 in 15 days is tracking your KPIs. If you don't know what KPIs are, it's your key performance indicators. In the beginning, you're not gonna have any key performance indicators. So you're gonna have to create some, and you should be doing that anyway. It's pretty much creating goals for your business. And if you say you want to generate your $20,000 in 15 days, you know that, hey, I need to come up with a cost per deal amount, I need to come up with a cost per lead amount, and I need to come up with how many leads it would take for me to close a deal. Those are the main goals that's important whenever you're wholesaling real estate. So basically, let's say that you're a beginner, you want to close 1 in every 50 leads that you make an offer on. And on top of that, you say, okay, I know it's going to cost me $50 to generate a lead across all my marketing channels. From there, all you have to do is multiply your 50 leads by $50. It's going to take you $2,500 to generate a deal. So in 15 days, you may have to spend $2,500 in order to generate a deal in your wholesaling business. That's how simple KPI tracking is. And as you go along, you actually start generating more leads and more deals in your business. Then you get to really see how much it costs to generate your deal, or how much it costs to generate a lead, or how many leads it actually take to generate a deal in your business. So now, after you have those numbers dialed in, it's time to come up with a marketing budget. Like I said, we already know that it takes $2,500 to generate those 50 leads in 15 days in order to potentially make a $20,000 assignment. You may close a deal after 10 offers, or you may close a deal after 100 offers. But like I said, this is a number that you can easily start off with in order to just set goals and get a deal done. Now, my recommendation is if you do have $2,500 and that's all that you have, don't try to spend that in 15 days because that doesn't make sense. And what you're gonna do after you run out of that $2,500 after the 15 days, if you have that amount, I recommend spending a certain amount every single month that you can actually afford to do in order to generate leads. And guess what? The more consistent you are, the more leads that you generate, the more leads that you follow up with, the more deals that you're gonna close, because 75 to 85% of your deals are gonna actually come for follow-up. So don't go in with the mindset that you're gonna run into a unicorn deal in 15 days and the first contact with the seller, you're gonna get the deal under contract. Give yourself time to generate a deal, but if you wanna generate that $20,000 in 15 days, this will be the way to do it. All right, so now that you have your marketing budget and you have a goal set on how much it'll take to generate a lead, it's time to figure out what marketing channels that you're gonna use. Because if it's gonna cost you $50 per lead, you could be looking on the cheaper end of marketing channels to generate leads. So with that in mind, these are the marketing channels that you need to use to potentially get this done. You need to look for SMS service, you need to look for a ringless voicemail service, and you need to cold call as well too. Because cold calling is going to be a flat fee. And the reason why I chose these 3 marketing channels, because they are the cheapest. And with SMS and ringless voicemails, I use REI Reply to actually send my messages. And guess what? It's only $49 per month. And on top of that, to actually send each individual message, it's going to be 0.0075 cents. And for ringless voicemails, it's 0.0085 cents. So imagine how many messages that you can send with a $2,500 marketing budget. And with REI Reply, you only have to pay $49. And also in REI Reply, you can cold call in there as well too. But I'm gonna leave that up to you. I use Call Tools for cold calling. You can check out REI Reply and Call Tools at the link below. And Call Tools is gonna cost you $99 per month plus the phone numbers that you buy. So I would definitely put additional $30 to $40 aside for that as well too. But those are gonna be your cheapest forms of marketing whenever you get started. You have other options such as Google Ads, or you have options such as direct mail, but they're going to be more on the expensive side, and that may cause your cost per lead to go up to $100 or $150 because Google Ads can be pretty expensive and direct mail can be pretty expensive as well too. But definitely check out those potential marketing websites that I just mentioned and just get started. Now, if you're enjoying this video so far, please just hit the like button, subscribe, and click the notification bell so YouTube can see that this video is valuable and they'll push it out to a larger larger audience. And also, I've been getting a lot of messages over on Instagram about potentially doing JV deals with some of you. And if you have any deals that you would like to JV on, I have a link in my description where you can submit your deal and submit all the information that's needed. And I definitely love to work with you. And if you would like to actually send me a message, definitely send me a message over on Instagram, and you can hit the link in my bio on Instagram and they'll also be there as well. And the next thing that's very important in this process is identifying a market that you want to go in. And the key things to do that is identifying different market sizes. So you're gonna have 3 different market sizes. You're gonna have a small size market, you're gonna have a medium size market, and you're gonna have a large size market. A small size market will be anywhere from 0 to 100,000, and a medium size market is gonna be from 100,000 to 300,000, and a large size market is gonna be 300,000 plus. Now, when you're trying to generate this amount of money, I recommend going into a mid-size market that will actually be 100 to 300,000 people, because most of the time those size markets are going to be right outside of a large market. Let's say that we have Milwaukee, for example. So we know Milwaukee is going to be a 300,000 plus size market. So it's going to be a large size market. So I'm going to be looking for markets that's on the outskirts of Milwaukee that's going to be a mid-size market that can be anywhere from 100 to 300,000 in population. And those are the markets that I'm going to go after. Now, on top of that, you also got to make sure that there are flippers in that area. So you want to make sure that whenever you do decide on the market, that there are buyers in that area that's currently flipping properties, because if there's no buyers, there's no need to go in that particular market. So that's how you identify the market that you want to go in, and those will be a little bit easier to pull deals out of. I'm not going to say it's going to be extremely easier, but it'll be easier than going into Milwaukee or going into Charlotte, North Carolina, or Dallas, where that's pretty much where everybody is going, because that's the places that they know. But choose a mid-sized market. Don't have no emotional attachment to it. Just choose one and move forward. All right, so now that you identified a mid-sized market, it's time to pull data in that particular market. In order to get a deal as quick as possible, you need to identify distressed properties first. So you may want to pull a pre-foreclosure list. You may want to pull a tax delinquent list. You may want to pull a vacant list. There's so many different distressed lists that you can pull, but you got to also understand that when you pull these lists, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to give you enough data in order for you to generate 50 leads in 15 days. So after you went through and pulled your distress list, it's going to be time for you to go through your non-distress list, and you can go after absentee owners. So absentee owners are just landlords that's renting out their property. In order to get all these lists that I've just mentioned for only $99 per month, definitely feel free to check out PropStream. In the first 7 days, PropStream is going to be free. And on top of that, if you use my link below, it'll actually be $97 instead of $99 per month. Inside of PropStream, you'll be able to pull 10,000 records every single month. You'll be able to skip trace your data, and you'll be able to pull comps as well too. And I don't know if you remember when I said that you need to find the flippers in a particular area to determine if that's a market that you should go in. They have a filter inside of PropStream where you can click on flippers, and they'll tell you how many flippers are in the area. Now, the next option that you would have, especially if you're going virtual, is having a list broker. Now, a list broker is going to cost you more money because they say that their data is more up to date. Like I said, I've been using PropStream for a while, and to me, the data is pretty much up to date. And I've actually made calls, and for an hour, the list that I pulled from the list broker, I was comparing it to the data that was inside of PropStream, and almost every single prospect that I spoke with was under that same list inside of PropStream. And from that point on, I never purchased from a list broker again, but it is an option that you have. Now, if you're local, you're going to have way more options when it comes down to lists. You can go up to the courthouse to get prospects. You could drive for dollars in that particular area to generate prospects. It's just so many more options, but with virtual, you just have to use a list broker or a list provider such as PropStream in order to create your list. Now, after you pull your list, you have multiple different options with this next step. The next step is, of course, to skip trace your data. You can skip trace your data inside of PropStream, or you can skip trace your data inside of back skip tracing. I use back skip tracing for skip tracing, and if I have an issue where back skip tracing doesn't produce a number, I may use PropStream, or I may use Skip Genie, or I may use just whatever skip tracer service will be available to get me phone numbers. And from there, you use the marketing channels that you chose for the next 15 days to market to your data. So now that you're starting to market to your data and everything, you have to understand that it's all a numbers game. The more calls you make, the more texts you send out, the more ringless voicemails you send out, the more people you're going to talk to, the more leads you're going to generate, and the more deals you're going to close. So if you wanted to generate a deal every 50 leads, if you generate 100 leads in those 15 days, that should give you 2 deals. Now, that's not necessarily going to happen, but it gives you a better chance because you're constantly making offers. I see a lot of people complain about not being able to get deals, but then you ask them how many offers have they made in the past week or past month, and they only made 6 or 7 or 8 offers. I mean, it's almost impossible to generate a deal that fast. So understand that, be patient with the process, and eventually, once you hit your numbers, you're going to close a deal. So after you make that $20,000, if you want to see a video on how you can make $100,000 in 1 year, please feel free to check this video out here, because that's going to get you on the right track, and it also helps simplify the process. Now, the last thing that's very important whenever you're generating that amount of leads in 15 days is making sure that you are following up with these potential sellers. And the best way to do that is just to use a free Podio setup. In the beginning, you don't need an expensive Podio setup in order to generate a deal. You just need to make sure that you keeping track of your leads and that you following up with your leads when you told them that you was gonna follow up with them. Like I told you before, 85% of your deals are gonna come from follow-up. So going to Podio and setting up a free Podio is gonna be ideal, because you'll be able to put all your leads under your seller leads app, and that's how you'll be able to track them. So check Podio out and go ahead and get started. Now, everybody that you speak with from this point on, after you start marketing to your sellers, they're going to fall into a couple of different categories. They're going to say, I'm not interested in selling, make me an offer, wrong number, please don't contact me again, the property is sold, not at this time, and how did you get this number? These are mostly all the responses that you're going to receive from sellers, and my recommendation is you're going to handle each one of them differently. The ones that say make me an offer, of course, they're going to go in your Podio setup. The ones that said not interested, of course, you're not going to reach out to them for another 3 to 6 months. The ones that said don't ever contact me again, I mean, of course, you got to remove them from your list because they don't want you to contact them no more. And the one that says sold, hey, do you have any other property that you would like to sell? And congratulate them for selling their property. And somebody that says not at this time, it sounds like they want to sell at a later date. So, of course, you need to make sure that you following up with them as well, too. And that's how you create long-term deals. That's when you start reaching out to people later on down the line and getting deals closed as you generate new leads in your business, which is going to constantly generate more deals in your wholesale business over time. So I hope this video was helpful. Set your KPI goals, set your marketing channels up, use PropStream or whatever list provider that you're going to use, and get your first deal in 15 days. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.